Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trail through Daybreak 2, where last time we saved Feri and Risette and Kasim, although he didn't really need saving, he saved himself. And now we are in the evening and...
On my way!
Take a tour of the city. Yeah. Pick up a quest, just in case.
Now, what's it say?
A style that suits oneself. Van, there's something I'd like to ask you and your team about. Please stop by when you have a moment. I'll be in Riverside, as always. Okay.
Van, darling! I've been waiting for you.
Seriously, I can't apologize enough, Bamodi. There's really no need, Hal. You went yourself at the time. Besides, it gave me a chance to see that jamming code of yours in action. It was very impressive. Yeah, no kidding, remind me to never get on her bad side. It's okay, I did it on purpose, I was just in a bad spot, okay? Glad to see you doing better, Hal. Welcome, Van. Hey, everyone. Feri, Risette, I heard about what happened. Seems like you two are feeling just fine, though. Yes, we apologize for causing any undue worry. Yeah, and I'm happy to see you okay, too. Right, I'm sorry about today, you guys. I know I wasn't actually in control, but that still doesn't make what I did okay. Well, if it's any consolation, the performance you gave at that call was practically award-worthy. Yeah, don't worry about it. And isn't there something else you need to tell us anyway? Of course, thanks for waking me up. I'll try and make it up to you by gathering more information about this memory rewrite thing. Seeing as I've been through it myself now, I should have more insight into the phenomenon. You're not the only one with that, Hal. We'll both be doing our best to repay you all. And I make double sure we find the bastards responsible for this. Sounds good to me. See, I told you it would all work out, Hal. Anyway, I believe Hal should be alright for the moment. But to think your awareness could be overwritten like that? What happened yesterday was the same, right? Terrible. I'm glad everyone is okay. I was so worried for you two. Yeah, we're feeling much better now. We appreciate your concern. Of course, just make sure to take it easy tonight. I'll do everything I can to find more information tomorrow. Thanks, we'll be counting on you, Bamodi. I was only in the capital to gather information, but this internet was really eye-opening. I'll have to start my search all over now. Well, you can be sure to count on me, alright? Gotta pay back a favor after all. Wouldn't feel right if I didn't. This was the same kind of thing that happened to Heiyu and the Ikaruga, right? Damn, just what are they up to? Remember to keep your guard up, Van. I've got a feeling things are about to get real messy around here. Good. But we first concentrate on the main story stuff. Satan?
Then let's head over.
Police station, maybe? Or the sisters? The sisters, and the other is the basketball stuff. Good. Right?
Has drawn much attention over their famed school.
Gonna eat something?
Hey, big boy, something happened today? Well, tonight's looking like a good night, so if you want to change a pace, why don't you go for a drive with me? Good night, seeing all the hidden sides of the city. Don't want to miss out, do you?
Alrighty.
You know, I've really got to hand it to Kanza. Tonight's soba was tasty as all get out. Dinners that don't need a helping of alcohol on the side are rare indeed. But now that it's over, wanna grab a drink with me? Oh, hello. You guys came at the perfect time. Wanna come drinking with us? Not really, I gotta say though, definitely never expected to see you two together. Well, I ran into him while I was leaving my hotel room earlier. Mine is apparently right next to his. It would seem our meeting was fated, so I invited him out for a drink. I would have thought you guys know each other though. I originally told him I'd like to pass, but as we must say, Director Gotti just doesn't take no for an answer. Why do I feel like I should be the one apologizing? Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the important stuff. 1000. Who would you prefer to go drinking with? Someone who's the pretty type or the cute type? Well, I guess doesn't really matter. We've got both types here. Come on, let's head to our first stop. Would you please wait a moment? Stop ignoring everything I say. Sound like 1000's in for a rough time. But Gotti never changes them. Apparently 1000 used to be the CAO of a Vaughn company, but now he's unemployed. He seems a bit down about it all. Maybe some drinking will help raise his spirits. I'm glad I have a chance to make acquaintance with Director Gotti, but I didn't expect him to be so overbearing. Honestly, not entirely sure I'd be able to keep up with him. I should have stayed in and ordered room service. Are you really alright with us eating food this expensive? Of course I am. It's the least I can do as thanks for your assistance. After all, you two are the ones who managed to bring both our security chief and our concierge out of their days. Yeah, and it's all on the GM's mirror, so go ahead and hog out all you like. Well, sounds like we got the all clear, Sarah. Let's begin. But... and of course, you all deserve some thanks as well. It was no big deal. Ah, come on now. Putting a lid on all the commotion was no cakewalk. Feri, Risette, how are you feeling? You two had us real worried. I'm glad our dance managed to reach you in the end. Yeah, we're fine now. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused. I'd also like to apologize. I know words are hardly enough, but I'm incredibly grateful for what you did for us. Well, you're right about words not being enough. I swear the hassle it took to snap you out of it. Still, I know it wasn't your fault, so don't go making that face, alright? Besides, this incident allowed me to confirm once again how indispensable you are to us. It's an honor to hear you say so, sir. Anyway, I can tell you guys are still pretty busy. Just try to remember to rest when you can, okay? Yeah, if anything else were to happen to you guys, Sao might just get an ulcer. Shahina! We don't need to give him anything else to worry about. Gotcha. We do our best to stay out of trouble. But at least we're able to hear about what happened after the fact. I feel like we can rest a bit easier now that we know. Yeah, I do feel kinda guilty about all this though. Stop right there. You can't keep beating yourself up about this. Yeah, we get to the root of the issue and then we'll yank it out. So, what's the plan now? Should we head back? Well, we still have a little more time. Why don't we make one more round before we go back? Sounds good to me. We head back once we hit a good stopping point. To advance the main story, select Discuss Plans at Montmartre. I'm pleased this punch is all wrapped up nicely, but it bugs me that the true culprit's still out there. You better believe they'll pay for getting into my best friend's head. I'll pass along anything I figure out your way. We ain't ever clear just yet, so let's stay on our toes. Of course, thank you very much, Mirabelle. This single incident came at quite a cost for our company. Of biggest concern would have to be the injuries Vice Chief Hassan sustained. Of course I intend to make reparations on behalf of Marduk. I'll be taking responsibility for all damage done to your office as well. And just so you're aware, I've already ordered the security chief to tie up any loose ends. The dedication that man shows for his work is truly awe-inspiring. He said so. Gilliam Thorndike, I can never get a read on the guy. I'm just glad that our dance could be of use, but it worries me that whoever did that to their memories could still be out there. But if there's anything we can do to help, just let us know, and please, take care. I'm not sure I really understand this whole memory rewrite thing, but I'm glad Feri's okay. But now that things have calmed down, I'm starving. So I was being all polite, but it's not like we get this chance every day, you know? Just gonna say thanks so I can get to eating.
I understand why you might think that. However, consider this.
Huh? Good.
I never did get to see Sarah and Shahina perform.
I'm sure you'll get another chance. You can think of it as something to look forward to.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd be happy to accompany you when the time comes.
Okay.
Heading to the objective. I'd better get home soon.
I hear that new movie is out of this world.
All right.
Alive waterway. According to recent a dangerous monster, the Gargoyle Room has been set in the Tyrell waterway.
We have merchandise for the
Welcome.
movie on sale at the shop.
Let's play.
Why not buy a souvenir to remember your visit?
Shite.
Thank you for your visit today.
And
The showing on screen 1 will soon begin.
Lizzie, a diffident introvert, is struggling to adjust to her new public-facing job. One night, she stares into her mirror and whispers to her reflection, "I wish I could change. I wish I could express myself. My real self." Several days pass, and suddenly Lizzie finds herself inundated with thank yous and incessant praise for her successful sales streak. Lizzie contemplates how this might have happened, and despite the insanity of the idea, begins to wonder if this was the work of another her. One day she notices a co-worker slacking off and thinks to herself, why bother coming to the office if you're not going to do anything? Other stray thoughts run across her mind, such as, I wish my annoying neighbor Barbara would just die already. The next day Lizzie learns the slacker got into a traffic accident on the way to work. Distraught, she races over to Barbara's apartment.
No! Don't come any closer! Stop! Please!
Barbara, are you okay? My, how curious. Since when did I have a look-alike? No, it's just like I feared. My wish actually came true. Please, just drop the knife. I don't want this. I don't want this at all. Liar. You know, you remind me of how I used to be. A filthy, yellow-bellied coward. But I'm not that person anymore. I changed. I decided to accept myself just as I am. Now I have the courage to make my own choices, like killing poor, miserable Barbara.
Two Lizzies? What's going on? I don't understand!
There's no time to explain. Barbara, get up! We have to run! So, I have my very own doppelganger, and she actually thinks she's the real me. How cute. I'll allow her to live out that fantasy for a while. Ever since I made that wish, I've felt so free. But if she tries to take that away from me, I'll cast a light on that two-faced lie and make her fade into nothing.
A flawless replica that goes beyond a mere passing resemblance. I recall hearing that perfect copies of human beings appeared during the incident that took place 2 years ago in Crossbow. Yeah, it's creepy to think about. Guess there was something to the whole idea of truth being stranger in fiction. I think they're called simulacra, supposed to be artificial human beings in every sense. A popular novel from 3 years ago called Heartless Edgar explored a similar concept. The story was set in a distant future, so most readers likely thought of it as nothing more than science fiction. However, I do not believe we can dismiss it as such after witnessing Mare and other singularities. I have to wonder what kind of advancement will help or hurt human beings. Why am I mulling over this philosophical junk? I'm just a simple spring from Old Town. There was a superstition about something similar in the place I grew up. They called it sleepwalking. The idea was that your spirit would leave your body and form another version of yourself. It was said to be an omen of death. So what do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I could see that being a thing in Eastern horror. Oh, by the way, I'm not actually the real Shizuna. You know what's scary? I can't tell if you're joking. Hey, looks like we're selling commemorative brochures of this movie.
Off we go.
Casual 2-movie evening.
Step right up.
Thank
We
you
have
for your
watched
visit
it
today.
already. When I do this another time. Anyway, terrace area.
Let's do this.
Back to questing.
My stall has the best dishes
Better
around.
Riverside than here.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to see you all together again. We saw the notice. You said you had something you want to discuss with us. Yes, I do. I say, so you want to add your own personal flair, huh? I worked really hard to be where I am today. Even managed to open my own little bar with this food truck. I've enjoyed the work, meeting all kinds of people, getting to introduce them to new drinks. But I feel like I'm stuck in a bit of a rut. So you want to try improving yourself? Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear you say that. You seem to be doing really well. I didn't expect you to be so passionate about making a change. Did something happen? Bartenders don't usually get the chance to talk about themselves. You see, my mother raised me all by herself. Growing up, she made sure that I knew I could do anything I wanted to do, be anything I wanted to be. So after a series of events, I chose to be a bartender. But something hit me recently. I fulfilled my goal of becoming a bartender, yeah? But am I okay with just being a bartender? Should I strive to be a little more? That's why I'm trying to figure out how to take myself a step further. And you think we can help you out? Yes, I've been thinking about it all for a while now, but I can't seem to come to a decision on what to do. That's why I thought it might be helpful to hear a few of your opinions. Considering you're also worldly and experienced, I mean. I think you might be overestimating what we can do for you, Shino. You should have more faith in yourself. After all, you're the one with all the bartending knowledge. There's no need to be so humble, Van. She just wants to hear things from the viewpoint of someone with a wide variety of experiences. Right, Shino? Well, the request seems easy enough. Seeing someone so willing to perfect their craft, it's a commendable feat for sure. We may not know much about bartending, but having a lot of opinions to think on will surely be of help. Thank you all so much. I don't mean to interrupt any of your plans, so please feel free to look into it only when you feel you're able. Alright. I guess we do have a little time on our hands at the moment. I have an idea of who we can talk to. We should be back soon with some good stuff. Thank you so much. As soon as I can develop my own style, I intend to challenge Bamori. He's someone I've looked up to for a while. I intend to wow him by making the best cocktail he's ever seen. So you're telling me you're trying to recreate the competition we had in Farward last year? I called dibs on being the judge. Aren't you a little too young to be drinking so much? Well, we do our best to ask around. With your connections, I'm sure we have plenty of people we can talk to. Did you have someone in mind at the moment? I'm thinking we have 5 places we can choose from. Riverside, Station Street, Satan, Old Town and the Tyrell District. You should go to at least 3, but if you have the time, I'd like to visit them all. Understood. A minimum of 3, maximum of 5. Actually, before we leave, I have a question for you, Miss Shino. What exactly drew you to bartending in the first place? I think knowing that much might give us insight into how to help you more efficiently. Well, it wasn't really anything life-changing, and honestly the story's a little embarrassing. Oh, you have my attention. But I suppose it is impolite to dig into a lady's secrets. I guess we just ask around and see what we can find.
Time to go solve some problems.
We're really in a groove. Should I just wait for him to finish? Let's wait a moment. And go to the other districts first.
On my way.
We're busy after all. Guess it's Huck we're asking?
Let me ask you something.
You know, they made me write one of those how-to books a few years ago. Boy, was that a pain in the rear. You wrote a book? That's amazing. He used to be an investor after all. They once called him the finance guru. I'm sure lots of people sought out his advice. Yeah, he's more than just some old man who likes baths at Mahjong. It might be useful to hear what he has to say. Well, I'd have to disagree. Just your friendly neighborhood elder, don't you know? Should we step out for a second? No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You know, I think I'd actually like to hear Miss Matilda's input as well. Oh well, I hope you're not expecting too much. There's really only so much I can say. Here's what I have. Even if you're confident in your abilities, there's only so much you should push yourself. Once you start overexerting yourself, nothing you produce will live up to your expectations. There's simply no need to force yourself to constantly improve. You just have to keep moving at your own pace. I see, then, while you're moving at your own pace, you can use trial and error to find ways to better yourself. Honestly, I thought you'd say something more complex. I'm just some fuzzy old man to you, aren't I? Well, anyway, old folks are prone to saying that things have to be a certain way. But as the generations come and go, it's natural that the world will change with them. It's young folk like you that are out there experiencing the world after all. You know what's really happening. If we all respect our own thoughts and feelings, everything should go swimmingly. That's why I want you all to live your life to the fullest. Listen to your heart, and we'll have a better world in no time. I suppose that's all I have to say on the matter. That was really nice, Huck. Talk about a far cry from your usual shenanigans. You be sure to live a long life too. That way you can keep an eye on any of us young'uns that'll lose their way. No, I fully plan on going senile and living the rest of my days with a lovely young nurse. And my impression of you is right back to the toilet.
On my way.
Elon? Maybe?
When did it get so late?
Carlos said he wants me to rethink my new venture. You see, he's worried that I might start neglecting Iota if I go any further, that I'd leave my barista work once I got too involved. Well, to tell the truth, I already made headway on creating a foundation for a project, and I'm still here, aren't I? Now I'll have plenty of time to focus on Iota. Maybe I should actually take the time to assuage Carlos' worries. I'd never had any intention of leaving Iota. How could I quit now after all the memories we've made? Plus, it makes for a perfect work environment. I plan on starting the project by setting up its base foundation from the very beginning. It would just make those pesky bank negotiations easier. I'm surprised he misunderstood, actually. I'll have to talk to him about it later.
Well,
What can I get for you?
Tea was
Hope it's to your
a recipe
satisfaction.
for tea, apparently.
Alrighty. Let me ask you something.
A lot of reasoning for things I do is based on instinct. I suppose it makes it a bit difficult for me to explain. I guess one thing I always try to do is examine everything closely, especially things I have an interest in. I thought I was actually born from a combination of my interests. If I remember, you were studying at the Basel Institute of Science, and you decided to start a venture business, right? Yes, that's correct. From there I used the money I earned to open a store. It was my dream to start a brand new type of business, an Opal Cafe. It's quite risky to do something that has never been done before. Were you not concerned? You see, I was well aware that it was a rather daring move, but that didn't mean I couldn't do it. Why, nobody would try anything new if they were too afraid of the risks. To go from zero to one, you have to be willing to act. I see, acting defensively often leads to stagnation. Yes, and it's at that moment that you want to create something new altogether. That's where the fun part comes in. It's a really great time trying to brainstorm all sorts of new ideas. It seems like a pretty relevant advice. People who challenge themselves every once in a while will eventually find success. Well, I think that's about all I can say about that. No problem, you gave us a lot to think on.
Off we go.
They all look pretty good.
Apparently the collaborative production between director Gotti of Vegas Hills and director Lam of Kowloon Pictures is coming along smoothly. Though that much of it was shot in far-off locales, the sheer scope of the project compels me greatly. One can't forget that it also serves as part of a charity campaign for last year's tragedy at Crail Village. That alone should cement its place in cinematic history. I wish it the best of luck at the box office.
So...
We have merchandise for the movie on sale at the shop.
Let me ask you
Buy a
something.
souvenir to remember.
Well, I'm honored that you would seek my advice. I must say, however, I'm surprised to see you again, Miss Lanster. Yeah, well, I just give these guys a hand every now and then. So, you've had a pretty lengthy career in entertainment? So I'm sure you've got the pride to match. You've done a lot of good work. Well, you certainly won't hear me deny that. When we first opened our doors, it was the very dawn of Orwell film. The idea we built on was a cinema that would make you fall in love with movies. We used that ideal as motivation ever since. I continue to play a variety of films at our theater, both old and new. And if I remember correctly, we even play some of the stuff your employees recommend. Yes, we do. I often hope that doing so will ignite a desire for film in them. From a management point of view, there's certainly nothing wrong with playing what are often blockbusters. However, if that was all we ever played, it would be a bit difficult to foster a passion for movies. That's what we believe, at least. That's not to say that other theaters are in the wrong though. The way I see it, all theaters play a role in creating an appreciation for movies. I was always so excited to see Orwell films when I was younger. It's like watching a moving picture book. I occasionally come to watch something after work too. It's always an enjoyable time. I agree, hearing you say as much makes it all worthwhile. Anyway, I hope you were able to glean something useful from all my talk. Well, it sure was interesting, thanks for your help. That makes 3 spots we've checked so far. We could head back to Shino, but we should probably ask around some more. Yeah, it's a waterway.
On my way.
Ah, that is the Eastern food guy.
Gonna eat something?
Come to think of it, been a while since I first set up shop here. Back in my younger days, I'd bring my stall to all sorts of places, but this is where I chose to settle in the end. It can be kind of nice to try my hand in the other parts of town though. I will take the time to return to my roots every now and then.
Got a question for you.
I don't really have advice to give. I just do my best to serve anyone who sits down. I kind of think that you say that. But when you serve people, is there maybe something you do to try to make it special? I want my stall to be a place where people can find peace at. On a day filled with mundanities, or a night where you just don't want to be alone. There are a lot of people that stop by, that are just looking for some relief. Well, I can definitely see the appeal in having a drink outside. Plus, everyone's got to smash in when you're in a food stall. Gives a real sense of unity. You make it sound like I hear all the time. Anyway, if that's your philosophy, we'll gladly use it for reference. I don't think I said anything important. Hey, mind having some skewers ready for me later?
Gonna eat something?
What are we waiting for?
One's group watches the girls' performance under the intermission. Once they came off stage, they explained the situation to them. And you thought we'd be able to help? Wow, that makes me feel like a real idol. A real idol? Say, like, we've been doing this stuff for months already. We have fans all over the Republic. That's true. With you is very popular at my school. Yeah, I'll even hear your music while taking a walk around town. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so negative. It took a while for our group to take off, so I'm still getting used to all the attention. I mean, we even almost disbanded at one point. Well, I guess I can't really blame you for feeling like that. We may have performed well, but nobody really accepted us as first. Yeah, we finally proved we can sell though. They can't doubt us ever again. So what you're saying is that it's important to make people recognize your worth. Not only your managers, but the public too. Yeah, unfortunately it's not enough to be good at what you do. If you're in the service industry, you really have to put your back into marketing yourself. Pretty words alone won't get you to the top. That seems like pretty sound advice for making a living out here. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Good luck with your show and everything. Alright, that's all 5 spots. Guess we should head back to Shino. Sorry to keep you waiting. We managed to get some real insightful stuff for you. Thank you, and you brought back so much more than I see, that's a pretty good idea. Sorry, I guess I got a little caught up in reading. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be able to do my best work with all the info you've gathered. Oh, you seem pretty confident about that. Well, this is some really good advice after all. I should go ahead and start working on my cocktail now. I'll bring it to Marmotti once I'm finished. I called him up a little while ago and he said he'd always be willing to entertain a challenge. Of course he is. I'm sure it helps that you're one of his beloved juniors too. Come to think of it, won't you need someone to judge, or do you want one of us to come in? I think I'd be a good choice. You just want a free drink. We're acting on Shino's request this time. We should find a judge that'll be impartial. Why don't we get someone we're both familiar with? I believe it would be best. You think you could take up being a judge? Why, thank you for the recommendation. I'd be glad to do so. Why don't we ask Renee and Marielle too? We'll meet up at Marmotti's when we're ready. A clash between teacher and student, huh? Upon the group's arrival to Marmotti's, the judges began to make their way in. Everyone awaited Shino's arrival with bated breath. And finally she came. I know you have been feeling a bit down for quite some time, but you seem to be in pretty good spirits now. I'm assuming something good happened? Yes, I finally figured out what kind of bartender I want to be. I believe I found my own style too, but just believing isn't enough. I need you to recognize me as well. Please, Master Modi, would you take on my challenge? Well, I gladly accept. However, I'd be lying if I said I never recognized your skill in the first place. Alright then, as previously decided, I'll start us off. A contest between Modi and Shino, huh? I'm sure this will be interesting. Guess it'll be a little crass to place bets though. Let's just see how it turns out. That's for Modi's Charme de la Nuit. It won runner-up at the bartending tournament last year. Yes, the female chose was sweet nights spent reveling in perilous secrets. I made a few different variations into contents in Farbot. Please help yourself. It's delicious. The sweet and sour tastes maintain an exquisite balance. It's really gentle on the tongue. I think this would be perfect for someone who can't hold the liquor. The drink itself is rather pleasing to the eye. I'd say it's good enough to add to your usual menu. Well, thank you, and I suppose now it's Shino's turn. Oh, it's an old-fashioned. Looks pretty simple. That's exactly why it's so easy to arrange. You just have to add whatever fruit or liquor you desire. The world made to your liking. I call it Vivid Paraiso. Please help yourself. It's super fruity. I kind of thought it'd be a little more bitter. Wait, there is a bitter taste too. It's not overtaking the sweetness at all, though. I sense that it's a bourbon base. The unique alcohol feel has been restrained. The faint punch it gives is a little addicting. I could see myself indulging a bit too much. It all goes down rather smoothly in the scent. Is that black tea? Yes, that's right. It's part of the tea selections at my bar. Bourbon and black tea, two of my favorite drinks. Would you mind if I had a glass as well? What do you think? Both the sweet and bitter taste are in perfect harmony. It's almost like a sample of life. You'll find no complaints here, Shino. The drink shares all of your charm. I appreciate your praise. You picked up on exactly what I tried to do with it too. Life has both dreams that are sweet and failures that are bitter. Everyone has times when they hesitate to keep pushing forward. Once you reach that point, there's no need to struggle in vain. You just have to keep going at your own pace. And that's what I was hoping to convey with this cocktail. Wow, those sure are some wise words. It's the kind of drink that I'd like to continue serving at my bar. I'll make it a place where people can drop in with ease and where they can feel comfortable getting close to others. So that's the style you want to create? It is. I suppose I take the loss this time then. I'm sure our judges would agree. Yes. Of course. Hey, you just made the decision for them. Oh, don't get so caught up in the details. Thank you for your cooperation, everyone. I'm grateful for all your help. Why don't we treat you to some drinks as a reward? Please, order anything you like. Yes, go on and take a seat wherever. This is a life, Hal. We should try and get free drinks more often. We didn't really do anything to help, though. Why don't we pay for ours? Then, I wanted to offer you my thanks as well. I really appreciate you giving my cute little junior the push she needed. It was nothing. Shino's always had a good head on her shoulders. She just needed someone to get her going. Yes, but you'd be amazed how few people would be willing to do such a thing. As expected of a man raising the next generation. Right, Mr. Arkwright? I'm not raising them, but I have to admit, I'm used to getting kids back on their feet by now. While enjoying the drinks, the group partook in an evening of pleasant chatter. Upon finishing, they said their goodbyes to Modi and Shino and once again resumed their activities.
That's all, folks.
Mira deposit confirmed.
Then the Tyrol district?
On my way.
Don't have a quick travel point?
We'd better get home soon.
Hey. Okay.
Numerous enemy targets. Proceed with utmost caution. This is your chance for a shard boost. Displaying enemy stats.
Let's party!
Attack their weakness with an art. Activating skill.
Over here! All for you! Make it count, Darren! Going all in!
Keep it up, it's working!
I'm out!
Leave this to me.
Risette! Accelerating! A chance!
Going all in!
I'll give it my all. Activating drive. I suggest we strike now. Flames within me. Destroy! Ha! Activating skill. No, you don't! A chance! I'll give it my all.
It's go time!
Time to go all out. Keep it up,
Attack
it's
their
working.
weakness with an activating skill.
Time for the main event! Vandalize! Ready!
Boost gauge
All
limit
you on, yes.
increased.
I'll give it my all. Activating drive. Time to go all out.
Activating skill.
Target lock. Go!
Apparently no life
Perfect
regeneration.
chance! I suggest we strike now.
Activating skill!
Yeah, you miss a whole lot, but it's okay.
Activating skill. Now it's my turn.
Activating skill.
Accelerating. No, you don't. I'll take you on. I suggest we strike now. Activating drive. Perfect chance.
Good chance for a shard boost!
I suggest we strike now.
Activating skill!
There.
Elaine's Sword Otters has been upgraded to Lord Otters. Okay.
All in a day's work.
Mira deposit confirmed.
Good. We have all movie brochures and we have all movies. Yeah, I think I read the special report of the Tyrell Times. A special report, follow-up on the incident at yesterday's Z1 Grand Prix. Details regarding the incident at yesterday's Z1 Grand Prix finals have begun to emerge. In the wake of the incident, we learned that it was not an accident but rather an act of terrorism. According to local authorities, Aslan's car was likely tampered with prior to the race, causing the scene that unfolded. After an overnight investigation, they concluded the incident was the work of a radical anti-immigration group called the True Grievance Brigade. Several members of the group have already been taken into custody and confessed to their involvement in the affair. Being the first Central Eastern immigrant favored to win the Grand Prix, Aslan has captured the attention of fans and the media in the lead up to the race. Though the majority of Z1 fans view Aslan as a remarkable achievement in a positive light, his immigrant status has also inspired animosity from nationalist elements in the fanbase. According to Z1 officials, threatening letters addressed to Aslan were delivered to race organizers since well before the finals had even occurred. During interrogations, the terrorists responsible for the incident admitted that Aslan's ancestry motivated them in part to carry out the heinous crime. Following the accident, Aslan was rushed to the hospital for treatment and a thorough examination. As of last night, physicians concluded he had suffered light bruising and a concussion, but that his life was not at risk. The chances of long-term injuries appear to be slim, and he is expected to be discharged in a few days, and back on the racetrack before the end of his month. Many fans expressed concern about Aslan's health following the incident. For the time being, it seems they can rest easy. Needless to say, the Grand Prix finals were suspended in light of the incident. For the time being, a champion has not been named. The Z1 Grand Prix Management Committee issued a statement clarifying that a follow-up race will be held in the coming days to determine the series winner. However, given the need for Aslan to recover and repair his damaged car, as well as the need to strengthen race terrorism deterrence measures, an exact date for the race has yet to be set in stone. The management committee has stated it hopes to hold the race at some point next month. Follow-up report. Explosion in the 8th district. Early this morning, a small explosion caused a fire in a multi-tenant building in Old Town. The explosion primarily impacted the 2nd and 3rd floors of the building, and due to swift containment of the fire, a restaurant occupying the 1st floor and the surrounding buildings were undamaged. It has not been determined whether anyone was present on the 2nd and 3rd floor when the explosion occurred, but as of the time of printing, no casualties have been reported. In regard to the cause of the explosion, authorities stated the incident was likely caused by an aging orbital power source overheating and combusting, in conjunction with a rupture of the building's plumbing system. Alright. And that's it for this episode. Next time we take a round around Edith, and then we see what else is going on. Anyway, until next time, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.